Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Luke W coming back at you again today. Haven't used that one in a while, but I thought I'd bring it back because we have a good buddy from high school who was a year older than me. We got Mike Wishko right down below and his business partner, Taylor, on the side. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, my man. Good to see your face.
We're good. Thank you, Luke.
Man, I like that you guys literally said, hey, are you ready to jump on this call in 15 minutes? I like that mindset of just want to get into it right away. You guys sent me that video or that screenshot that you're already doing 40K a month. You just started in May. I was like, what the heck, dude? Like, you guys are doing 40K already? We just chatted on the phone that you were starting like a couple months ago. So
I can pull it up if you want.
Last 30 days right there.
Oh, here, hold it a little higher to your screen. Oh, 41K last 30 days, man. And how many products is that with?
That's with primarily one, but three total. One selling, one probably, what do you think, TC, made up 95% of that revenue? So
yeah. One product.
A couple unicorns, man, and you're set.
I know, Mike, I connected you kind of through a Facebook group where we saw each other posting. And what got you into Amazon in the first place, man?
What got me into it is, I've been in e-commerce for a little doing SEO, just like marketing for small businesses, just through Taylor, other guy you see on the screen right now. And quarantine hit, was working a lot of hours at the 9 to 5 and knew I don't want to do this for fucking 40, 50 years. So I started just researching other ways, and Amazon FBA came up. Saw a bunch of videos, saw your videos, saw just a lot of things that actually made sense. And when you look into, it's just moving the retail platform from Target, from Macy's, from all these places online. And when you think about it like that, it made sense. So then when you look at what you can source products from and you do a little bit of research, it all was actually there. I hit my boy up and asked if he had kind of been interested in seeing it, and he said he had, and we kind of just took it from there.
That's awesome. So Taylor, what's your thoughts on just Amazon FBA? You guys literally hadn't really heard about it for a while, and then you were just like, this opportunity made more sense to you than drop shipping. I think you mentioned that before we hopped on the call. What made this just ring a bell in your head saying this is like makes the most sense?
Yeah, good question. So obviously my background since 2015, I've been doing SEO and digital marketing. I have my own business. That's actually how I met Mike. Was he was looking to get into some sort of an online business. And so we got connected and I helped him. I had a course I created and he bought the course and he's done pretty well with it in his very, very little amount of spare time that he has. He works so many hours. And so he just hit me up in, I think it was March or April, something like that. And during quarantine, I couldn't go anywhere. So I started looking into drop shipping and, it's that one. We won't get into drop shipping too much, but he was like, hey, I'm doing Amazon FBA. I'm thinking about really getting going on this. And so we had a really good rapport, had done a lot of good stuff together as far as, communicating was really smooth and fun. And it was just a blast, working on the SEO stuff. So we're like, let's dig into this thing. And with Amazon, as you know, Luke, Jeff Bezos, I just saw a meme today on Instagram. Jeff Bezos, I think it was like if you had made like $20,000 a second since the pyramids were developed, you still would have like 10% of his net worth, right? So just a earth-shattering number. So I'm thinking to myself, Amazon, at the end of the day, it's really not that old of a company, right? In 100 years, Amazon will still maybe be a company that, what I'm saying, like we're getting in really early. That's how I look at it. And I think it's just barely scratching the surface on what Amazon really will be. And if you can somehow tap into that platform and that, that influence, I think there's a lot of power in that.
Definitely. You're learning a skill that's a straight up high income earning skill. And no matter what platform you're on, whether it's Amazon or if Walmart becomes a big, they're trying to battle it out saying, no, we want more sellers over here. No, we want more sellers. We're going to give you lower fees. Come sell over here. Like you're going to have the skill to sell wherever. You're already going to have the product. Like this is not going anywhere. What's going places, what's going down under is like all the malls, all the, like anyone that's not hopping into this at this point is like, just hoping that, we go back to the Stone Age. And honestly, it's not going to happen. Like we're going to the moon. You know, Tesla could watch Tesla make a freaking like Shopify or e-commerce platform.
Right. Could happen. Anything could happen with Musk, man.
Dude, I just bought some of their stock now that they did the stock split, and I bought more Apple stuff, dude, because I'm like, hey, all this money that, you know, you're earning right now, if you're not putting it into investments or using it to further your learning, this is, you know, it's going to start devaluing. That's what's happening with the currency. Like, how much stimulus did we just throw into the trillions of dollars of stimulus that's going to, now when I go buy a Subway, it's like $12, man. It used to be 5. I'm like, so you gotta, dude. So I'm just saying, like, throw some money in stocks. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Just the fact that we're dealing with like a crazy ass time right now.
Yeah, I mean, to kind of go one, kind of agree with everything you're saying, and the more streams that you can have of income that are passive, it's the quicker you can get to a point where you don't have to get up and fucking punch in, right? So especially, you know, not going back to the Stone Age makes a ton of sense. But the one thing that could have just accelerated it at an exponential rate was a pandemic, right? Because there were a lot more shoppers who like going into brick and mortar, like going into malls, like going into all these things that make no sense to you and I, but they weren't going to change their way. Now they have convenience, and giving up convenience is something that's really hard to do. So yeah, just in terms of that, I mean, I think TC and I are both fans of listen, we're working hard right now, and we know we're going to work hard for a while, but our whole goal is to have as many streams as possible and build this into something we can just kind of fade away and watch grow, right? So yeah, stocks, you know, as much diversification as possible, but that's a lot easier to do once you have a stack that's high enough, right? Like right now it's throwing a few darts and some are going to lose and it'll hurt, but down the road, ideally you'd be able to throw enough around where some will go down and then a few will make your whole life change. So
True that.
And also, to add on to what Mike's saying, and for the viewers watching this video, our goal is not just doing the Amazon FBA stuff. Like, we want to get to a point where we can, you know, take the proceeds and put it into real estate and own properties and own different assets. And if we did 41,000 in the last 30 days. I forget what it was exactly, but our goal is to be doing $45,000 a week in sales, right? It's a massive opportunity. I think that a lot of people, they think small and they want to make, you know, $2,500 a month so they can, you know, get out of their job at Foot Locker, right? Whereas I'm seeing, you know, and you talked about a guy like Kevin David, right? And all these other people who have made all just tremendous. And a lot of people know the names Adrian and Anthony Morrison. Those guys have made a ton of money online. And, you know, there's all these guys that have made so much money. There's an 8-year-old in Sweden, I think, he made like $23 million on YouTube last year, right? So people need to understand the opportunity is so tremendous. This isn't, you know, 1976 where you have to do, you know, Amway to make money. Like the opportunity, the opportunity is amazing because the internet is growing. It's the one place where every single person on this planet hangs out, right? And so start it now. Like, do YouTube, do Instagram, do an Amazon FBA store, utilize the internet because the opportunity is truly endless.
Now, talking enough about just what the opportunity is, tell us about kind of your business right now. Like, how did you go about product research? Did you use some tools? Like, what made you pull the trigger?
So we first tried to do it without a tool, and then quickly realized there's just, if when the business gets to a certain point, we need to consolidate everything, right? And we've already got there. So we bought Jungle Scout, and that's huge for just keyword research, seeing, you know, I don't know how accurate their data is to Amazon, but assuming it is for what it's shown us, it seems to be very accurate. Just seeing what people are searching through that tool when you find a good product is, I can't even put into words how beneficial that is.
Yeah, and they go based off like the bestseller rank of products, and based on that number, they're going to give you the sales a month and things like that. And they can look at the weight and dimensions of the product, which is in the like back end of your listing. And I don't know how they get their hands on that info, but I mean, Helium 10, Jungle Scout, they basically all do the same thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the way to freaking go at that point.
The issue I think a lot of people is that you've probably seen this, Luke, is people get really excited and they just want to go find their first product without doing keyword research.
Mhm.
And that's going to leave you in a fit of, and you can even find keyword research that shows that a product is going to sell really well. And then you'll still find that the competition is ridiculous, right? Once you get in the door. But so it's not like it's a guarantee that you're going to find a winner just by doing keyword research, but it's a necessity that you do keyword research for all your products. And so at least that's from our point of view is we're very diligent about doing keyword research, and Mike is an ultimate analyst. Like, this guy's brain, he's like an accountant. He's so detailed and so organized. And with me, I'm a little more scattered. We're all just, oh, that looks exciting. Let's go sell this today, Mike. Right. So it's a good way of being excited, being excited, being positive, and having a belief that system that you can at least create a product listing that differentiates you and that makes you better than the competition, better images, better copy, more, this, that, and the other. But it's really pertinent that you're doing keyword research to ensure that, it's feasible to sell it.
Yeah, and there's even product research methods where you can find good product markets based on keywords. Like I'm sure Jungle Scott has it, but Helium 10 also has, where you can type in how many searches a month you want to, like a product research method where you just say, I want a product that's making 10,000 to 50,000 keyword searches a month that's priced between $60 and $90 or something. And then you'll just find all these keywords, and you might find a whole new product market that is getting a bunch of search volume. And then maybe it's flower pots or something, or a special type of flower pot. And you're looking at, okay, these wall hanging flower pots, there's a bunch of different ones here, but then no one's really combined a unique bundle. So that's what I like to do. I just find big keywords that are making a lot of searches, and then I'm trying to make the best product listing that's on that first page, because it's not super specific, but the keyword's getting a lot of searches. So if you are there, some people might have 1,000 reviews, some people might have 2 reviews. It doesn't matter. That's the keyword that's getting the search volume. So as long as you're there with the better bundle, that's how you can start capitalizing with research there.
Hey, Luke, question about that, and I'm sure it'd be helpful to your listeners. If you're working on a bundle with different suppliers, how do you go about organizing that and getting them to work together?
Honestly, I did that not too long ago. I mean, I straight up talked to my supplier and was like, hey, I need this other bundled item to be shipped to your warehouse. I'm going to have another supplier do that. And then my supplier was like, sure, let me just make sure it's going to fit in the box. And then I was like, yeah, it's a really small item. So when I talked to my secondary supplier, I was like, hey, I'm going to be shipping this to another person in China. Is that okay with you guys? And they're like, yeah, we'll just sell you the product at the product price and actually do free shipping for you. So I talked to a bunch of different suppliers. This guy was like, hey, we'll do free shipping. And he had a great, price on the product. He wasn't like just ripping me off there either. So after I talked to 5, 6 suppliers, I was like, let's do this. I'll just place this order, send one little individual item. I bought like 200 of them and it only cost me $130. So just having that little differentiated item in your listing is going to prevent hijackers, because how many people want to go out of their way to actually find another unique item that's the same as yours and get it bundled with the supplier, so just so they can sell in your listing? Because if you have a great product that's really easy to copy, people can easily just press sell now, sell on your listing. And if you don't have it trademarked or branded and all this stuff or bundled, Amazon's not going to take them down, and then you're going to have to fight for the buy box on the lowest price. I was also going to say that's something like you guys were saying, you haven't taken a course, and that's totally fine. But with anyone that is debating, hey, can I just do this with YouTube videos? These guys are proof $40K a month they can do it. But who knows if it's a dartboard thing? It's like, I mean, we have a product that just freaking blew up right now, and that's great. Use that money, save some of it so that you can build the experience and invest to more products more carefully, maybe. And like I was telling you about, more evergreen products that aren't maybe trending or whatever, that'll sell all year round more consistently, stuff like that. But having the course is going to give you someone that you can, relay information to, like ask questions to whenever you need. And there's like Facebook groups, like student groups. I mean, they're not too different from the public ones, but just that extra hands-on help of having someone in there and more of a refined group. These other ones have 30,000 members. It's just a little hectic. And the main point I'm saying is you can understand like little landmines to avoid when you get a course or something, because it's more step by step, instead of thinking, okay, well, we know we have to source a good product. We know we have to order it from Alibaba. Like, what little steps and tips and tricks can we do in there? At the end of the day, a lot of that stuff can end up just in a course price can save you hundreds and hundreds of dollars in landmines that you might hit along the way, and make you more money at the end of the day too, with just a small investment in the course up front. And mine's a smaller investment compared to ones that are out there that are like 2,500 and then they don't even like give you help. Like, I had a guy come to my course because he was like, yo, this course is 2,500. The guy won't even answer my questions. He says, no, that's for my elite double level mastermind program. That's 10 grand if you want to ask me questions. So it's like, mine's like $500. And it's like, that's going to save you. I can save you that amount just on your first shipment into Amazon if you do that thing. So.
But also, Luke, you mentioned before we got on this call that you do an hour long, I think you said it was $100 for an hour long call, which is a really good deal. I mean, it's a very, very reasonable price to have a full hour of someone in, being able to, I guess, speak into your business with expertise and advice. So as somebody who hasn't purchased your course, obviously when we've gotten to that point, we know that that's the case at this point. I would say that just the fact alone that that's something that you offer in your course, along with the fact that $500 is very, 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 very cheap in a good way, that alone should entice somebody to want to follow what you have to say in your course.
Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot. With that said, is there anything else you guys want to give, like last bit of advice? Keyword research was huge for you finding your product. You've said that. Any other kind of little tips on your business, issues you're running into? Like, I mean, I know the whole COVID thing's happening, but you still have a product in and it's selling. So actually that's pretty important. Like, what's kind of been going on? Like the best parts and then the worst parts of Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, and to your original question, just start and do things. I think the biggest thing we've run into an issue with Amazon, whether it's our product being restricted, being gated, all types of things. But if you just, the more experiments you run, the quicker you're going to get to the goal. So we've done a lot of things wrong, but at least we know now. And so I would just say start doing things, start reaching out to suppliers, just take the first few steps, and then a month and a half later, these steps are easy to us, and we have bigger problems. But yeah, I don't know. TC might have different, but I would just say just trying as much as possible when you start to know where your niche is.
Yeah, and to wrap up, my last comment, I guess, would be to not give up when things get difficult. Like Mike was saying, I mean, we've ran into a ton of different weird obstacles, like stuff that you can't even think that you would run into before you start, and like just really strange stuff. But the trick is to remain like focused, steadfast, and committed to what your end goal is, right? Because if you get, if you're on a boat and you're on the waves, it starts to get a little rocky, or you got to weather the storm. And so that Mike and I do a really good job of understanding it's a long-term play. We plan on doing this for many, many years. You're not going to throw us off a little small obstacle. Like we're not like weak people like that. You're going to really throw us off to even rock us. So that's just important is to have that mentality of positivity, staying focused. Don't let the small stuff get on you. And I mean, you have to have thick skin.
That's a great word of advice. I mean, I had the same thing I told you before with the call. Like, I had a restricted product issue right after I was making $30K a month with one listing. I was like, similar to what you guys are in, but you guys aren't selling a product that's going to be considered a medical device. So I don't think you're worried about that, but anything can happen. And that's why also maybe you can look into growing your business on Amazon and then building a secondary website, funneling traffic to that website. At the end of the day, it's a big brand that you've now created that you can build an Instagram around. And now you're not solely based on Amazon. You use that as the springboard to launch your brand, which then you can later sell for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars with even more asset value, saying we have an Instagram with this many followers. We have a website. We're making this much on our website, this much on Amazon. And then that's your exit strategy for one brand. Now you rinse and repeat. You do another brand and you make millions of dollars every couple of years because you're selling brands or something. Every year because you're selling brands.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so that's simple, huh?
It's that simple. But Mike, I love that Ken Griffey thing in the background, man. That's sick, man.
Kid, never forget. Never forget.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll hop on another call at some point when you guys are raking in even more dough. But until then, we're going to wrap this one up. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Thank you, Luke. Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.